Recording in progress.
Welcome. This is Petra, and we're in the third session of the 8-8 Twin Flame Healing Pod. Now, harmonious twin flame union has a big secret surprise inside of it. And that is what my talk will be about right now. And this episode of the entire 8-8 Twin Flame Healing Pod is a talk. So there we go. We already had session 1, which was a oracle card reading. Then we had session 2, and it was a crystal healing. Now, I have been trying out a streaming and recording on 3 platforms at the same time. I just took a plunge very deep, and it did not work out on all platforms in a right way. So we're doing it a little bit differently right now, and we're also learning and up-leveling live as we speak. And I promise you that I will try to upload on all relevant platforms, at least afterwards, as good as possible versions of the recordings that I have. So you may also choose, if you want to watch the sessions when the best possible versions that I have are uploaded directly on that platform, and watch then. That's possible. And I love this. I love, that I'm just trying this out now, really anew for you. And I feel that's really the creative power of this Lion's Gate that we're in now. The time and space set apart right now on 8/8, August 8th, for your spiritual development. And your spiritual development is also your personal development, because they are ultimately one. However, we can talk about them separately as well. That's also the case for twin flames. Very interesting, because they always come and they always meet harmoniously at the end of your spiritual journey. Whatever kind of spiritual journey you make, whatever religion you use to do it, whatever kind of pathway you take to go that route, when you've organically done the actual inner journey that it is about, you will always meet them at the very end of it. And being together with them is now also possible, even at the very start, at the beginning, or at least more early on in your spiritual journey, so that you can do a big part of your journey together. That's the new possibility that is now in the universe, and I represent that development. That's what I became initiated in as a twin flame teacher. And that is when you follow that new path, that new ascension step, that new ascension possibility of early in the journey, in a spiritual journey, which is a organic given already being with the true twin flame, and doing that together, that expansion. That is at the same time a spiritual development as well as a personal development. And this is really how it is set apart. It was so extremely focused on those two as one at the same time. And let's say, like the incredible power that it has to give you that personal development and spiritual development steps at the same time. The power of that is incredibly big when you look at twin flames. So that's how it technically works. So that may sound familiar to you, like the terminologies that I describe and how I give it a new twist, and then you might recognize it. But for other people, that this may all sound like far-fetched and too much, and I understand. And it's so beautiful that the twin flame union is also very understandably a relationship, and anybody understands that. But then it is a relationship on the divine level. And you can live that, especially when you connect with a teacher and the energy where it already is. All right. So the talk is going to be about that inside the state of being of harmonious twin flame union, which is the consciousness state that you actually want to go to, and out of which the physical manifestation that you want in your twin flame relationship will sprout forward. That harmonious twin flame union consciousness state has a big surprise inside of it. Now, I came to this realization after just really today, spontaneously, because I'm also healing in this Lionsgate 8-8 healing pod, isn't it? So I am receiving new information for you and sharing it immediately. When I did the card reading, the oracle card reading, the first session, I got a glimpse of what we were talking about today. And then I started to do the crystal healing, and I was feeling into it in the energy and healing it at the same time already. And I sort of didn't know really what I was doing, but I knew I was creating technical upheaval, and that sort of represents inner work for me as well. And then it started to settle down in me like, yeah, I'm seeing a new thing now. I'm really seeing a new thing. And I want to explain to you how I came to that sort of seeing of this new thing and this secret that is inside harmonious twin flame union, because I think it'll speak to you. It could speak to you as well about your situation. So what I saw was, wow, this is an incredible problem that I'm creating here. I just wanted to do all these beautiful sessions, live sessions, and then meeting you in a Zoom room as well after each session. If you want to, I would be there. But it just gave technical issues, it seemed. That's an inner work issue for me. That's what I'm responsible for. So, what does that mean? And then I started to see that I was already processing even before today came up, because, there were some days of preparation. And even last week, I did 3 days of fasting to prepare before the practical preparations as well. Spiritual fasting. So I started to see that something was really up, and I needed to look into that. And it already started for me yesterday. And now I made a connection a couple hours before I am here today in this session. And that is that I saw that I was already seeing that I was overly and negatively connected to certain patterns, that I wanted to do certain things in my daily life all the time to have a security check or something, and to distract myself from what's really going on in the right now, and in the potential negative pains in the right now, but also in the coming to bloom of the light in the right now. And I just was looking for a distraction all the time again, and that was almost like an addiction for me at this moment that I could let go of. So I'm letting go of that addiction right now. So you're allowed to know that. And that is, of course, always a big revealing of what is below that, what is behind that curtain of addiction. That is always a thing that is there for you to make sure that you don't see something else, don't deal with something else. And then you cannot deal with that stuff, so that also it cannot flow away, so that the new thing opens up and you can be in the light of that beautiful thing that actually wants to come to you. So that's what addiction does, no matter what the addiction is. So I saw that I was constantly wanting to watch certain YouTube videos, and that didn't serve me anymore. It did serve me, and it was specific to my twin flame journey in this way, because these videos all connected to my false twin flame story. They connected, in other words, to my lessons that my soul had to learn before I came into harmonious union. And actually, I came into harmonious union on 23 March of 2020, and afterwards there was an enormous, I just came into harmonious union and now I'm deepening myself, healing. That was enormous and long, and I went through it. And somewhere in that healing, even after harmonious union, I got in the habit of watching these certain videos. Now they were all about what I had experienced in my false twin flame union, that I was still letting go all the energetic entanglements of, even after harmonious twin flame union, all these entanglements inside of me, in my inner space, they were being let go of. And that was a whole dance. It was a whole healing procedure that was happening over time. And I had already chosen it. And I chose to remain in harmonious union. So this was just going and going, but it was a whole thing. That was a whole thing to let go of. So what was it? Well, it was my romantic situation and also how that was tied into what I was programmed as an early child, as a young child in my early childhood. And these things, of course, work together completely and utterly. How you stand in your love relationships or in any relationships reflects directly how you have been programmed in your early childhood by your caregivers, your mother, your father. And that programming can be very off. And then those relationships are also very off. But because you are raised like that, it seems like these relationships are actually normal. So this was what happened for me. And yes, in my early childhood, I had been raised very narcissistically, and I had been also within that umbrella thereof been sexually abused for also my entire childhood. Actually, yeah, and both were my entire childhood. So this colored the programming that I went into relationships with, even though I did so much my best, even though I was already consciously with a teacher on a spiritual journey since 1998. That's when I was 18. And actually, I met my teacher in 2000. So then I was 20. All right, let's put it there. So I still had trouble with that with my last false twin flame that I let go right before 3 months before, no, six weeks before entering into the state of being of harmonious twin flame union in 2020. So this relationship represented all of the results of me having grown up in a narcissistic family structure that structured my brain, that structured my energy, that structured my psychology. And this relationship was the last false twin flame relationship that I was let go of before I could move into my true twin flame union with my true twin flame that at that time was already revealed to me by the divine procedure of how that goes that I speak about in one of my videos on my YouTube channel, one of my twin flame videos, what that procedure is of the revelation of the true twin flame that you will then know once and for all, 2000%, as it were, for sure. That's a certain process that repeats itself. So, yeah, there you go. So that had already happened then as well. And then, you know, choosing it fully and moving through the let go of my false twin flame and then moving into my state of being of harmonious twin flame union. And that was in March 2020. And then, all, as I said, all the entanglements of that narcissistic kind of like experience and the not feeling sexually whole in both that last false twin flame experience and my early childhood trauma, they were just being dragged out of my energy system, and that took a long time. And I got the help of the divine to get me through it. There were many, many painful nights of lying awake And they were all about moving through that which was needing to be felt for the very last time so that it could leave me to never come back. So that's what happened all that, yeah, all those months I moved through it. And this is also the promise that many people hope that you can let go of your trauma, that you can let go of patterns, that you can let go of what doesn't serve you. And this is what that was for me. And it went on, and it was like the last time that it needed to move through me. And somewhere in that journey, somewhere in this story of letting go, I found information and I was like eating it up. And that was healthy for me at that time, to learn more and more on a new, more conscious than ever level about that narcissism, because I knew already that sort of thing since 20 years. But now it was really letting go out of me. And it was very interesting to learn about narcissism in a new way. And I watched a lot of videos about that. But then it became really almost addictive when I saw that I became interested in the story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Very interesting couple, because they show so many traits that are imbalanced and improper, and representing a programming that is not holistic, in behavior that is presented over the entire earth, and in specific over the entire internet. So that's very visible as well. And it's also very discussed by certain people on certain channels, which is very interesting to see into what that says about these toxic patterns and what it doesn't say about these toxic patterns. I made one video on my YouTube channel about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, their relationship, and how to look at that from the twin flame standpoint. And I will probably make another one, because I want to emphasize actually more that every relationship is actually toxic and not holistic, and not meant to be when it is not a harmonious twin flame union. And anyone that is in a toxic relationship or in a wrong programming in their mind and having a relationship in that sort of pattern can step back out of that, repent and heal, and move into their own true twin flame union with the work that I present. So nobody needs to be stuck in that. Even Prince Harry and Meghan Markle don't need to be stuck in that. They can move towards how they're actually meant to be, should they choose that. So that's also what you can do. You can choose that. And then you're moving into how you're meant to be from the soul out, and even beyond the soul. You could say twin flames is from beyond the soul, it's from spirit, and then it's lived in the soul. And the soul also has, of course, your physical life inside of it as well. That's how we speak at this moment. So I also started to watch videos about that, and I was truly fascinated by it. And I still did that, and I was feeling that I was still getting things out of that, that I was still some sort of reviewing my own false twin flame story, with the purpose of processing it fully, healing, and letting that go. But my own message now for this healing pod in the Lion's Gate was that for me, this has been enough now. I should stop all the time distracting myself, stepping into this some sort of hallucinatory space of that false twin flame energy that it is actually for me. And it is not healing me anymore. It's not helping me anymore. I can let go of it right now. So that's what I will do. And I was still processing this the last 12 hours since really we started this whole healing pot for real, with all the lives and stuff, and where it worked and where it didn't work and stuff. And this is the letting go of all those things. So this is what will happen for you too. All the things that are in your false twin flame union, all the things that are in the patterning and in the early childhood programming that is inside of you, that is not aligned with your divine nature, not in accordance with your soul blueprint as a twin flame, will need to be worked through and let go. Well, first you choose that, okay? Then you work through it. And then you can let go of the whole thing. Now, I even told you that I did this after coming into harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state. That is able to be reached by doing the inner work with the key tool and loving yourself into that state and then maintaining it. But even if you're not yet there and you're just where you are now, you can start this process of letting go of that programming, letting go of what doesn't serve anymore. And I advise you to take that very seriously already where you are now. Because when you would do that after harmonious union and you would be close with your true twin flame, dealing with them in the actual reality, in your physical reality, and then you need to go through these entire heaps of that sort of trauma or misprogramming or toxic patterning. That's a whole thing to go through. And now you're with your twin flame. So you really would want to give yourself and your true twin flame that you already do that as much as possible before you're even there. So that's my advice to you. And if there's patterns inside of you that you are watching videos or looking up information and like a too much of a thing that it's going to be some sort of an addiction, that it is a distraction of what is actually the light that wants to break through for you, where you're needing to go, then I advise you to, and then I want to inspire you to, just like I'm doing now, try to let that go, because that can be part of the issue. For me, it is part of the issue. I have been incredibly worried. And this thing, about my own healing of the narcissistic patterns, of the false twin flame patterns, actually also touched what I was also letting go of. And that was in my true twin flame union. I had a situation that caused me to worry so deeply because I never wanted to be, ever, ever, ever wanted to be someone that would be standing here as a person for whom another relationship needed to be broken up for me to be together with my true twin flame. And I am that. That is the truth. And this worried me so, so, so much. It was incredible. I was incredibly worried. And this worry also mixed with all of that. Yeah. And that has guided me through these approximately 3 healing years. And that worry is also going now. And I don't need to be distracting myself to not feel the worry. It's good now. It's fully healed. I moved through it. And now I've moved through it, I can see that I am not the person that stands here, that is the person that is representing that another relationship needs to be broken for me and my true twin flame to be together. No, I'm standing here before you as a person that already is in union with the true twin flame. That is the primary thing. That is the primary order of reality. That is the primary order of the divine as it is supposed to be lived. So that comes first, and not out of an ego or personality desire, but because that is what is felt and lived, therefore, as the truth. So when you've let go all these layers, when you've truthfully let go of the psychological wounding of being talked down to, for instance, as a child, of being gaslit, being talked out of your genuine feelings, the layers of stepping into a relationship with a false twin flame, not knowing that it is one, where they try to push you out of your authentic self. This whole situation tries to push you out of it all the time. And you're doing so much your best to push yourself into the authentic role, on and on and on. Because you know that if you think you're in a twin flame union, you should do the inner work and then it'll all work out and you will together go to the state of being of harmonious twin flame union consciousness. But it doesn't work and it doesn't work. And then eventually you see that this is a false twin flame. And you can let that go. And you can let go of that layer of where that early childhood trauma represented itself in your relationship, your love relationship. And that falls away. And that false relationship, the false twin flame, also falls away. And your mind becomes open to what is the truth. And the true twin flame. Not only the truth of like the pain, the difficulty, the pattern, but with that, and together with that, also the breakthrough to the light and to the divine love that it is all about. So when you can let go of all of this and try to, in this healing pod, try to make space in your heart to let go of all these layers of dirt. Just let it slide off of you. Even for this day, even for these 12 hours or what have we left. To open your heart for that beyond layer for a moment and rest in that. Take some space for yourself in that. Take a nap with that. Sit with that. Make a walk in nature with that, even only for now. And let that influence you. Borrow it from me and take it with you for a couple hours. If you can let that happen, if you can let that go in that way and open up to the beyond the soul level, that is the twin flame, the divine love, then you will find, just like I did, the secret that is inside harmonious twin flame union. And I will reveal it to you right now, how it was revealed to me. There was, in my first session of this 8-8 Twin Flame Healing Pod, when I did the Oracle card reading, a moment in which I said, oh God, oh my God, I tried to prevent this so much, but I need to go to the door because there is a package for me. Well, inside your harmonious twin flame union, there's a package for you. It's a present. So I just went away from my life and I returned, but I went away to the door and I got my package. It was a huge package. I was happy that it came home. I put it down and I went back to my Oracle card reading and I finished it. And later today, I cut open and I got a few peeks inside of it. I didn't go through everything yet, but we'll do that later. And I told in that video as well that this package, this present, was for me about a romantic dream that I have. It's not scheduled yet, but we're going to the Italian city of Verona, where the Romeo and Juliet story is placed from Shakespeare, to celebrate our togetherness. And in the present was a new outfit that I was trying out, that I bought. And that was for that romantic vision. And then it dawned me. The secret inside the harmonious union is not only that you have this romantic story, this beautiful, soft, healing dance together with your true twin flame, which is totally flowing and by itself and natural and organic. But that even that is so beautiful, and I received that already because I'm physically preparing for certain parts of that. I received that already right now. And then even beyond that, that inside harmonious twin flame union is your divine romance with the divine. With the divine. It is the divine that you are having this divine romance with. You are starting to flow on this orgasmic energy that is divine love. And this is a dance that in a depth of you, you are playing with the divine. And that is what you're receiving. And you're giving yourself completely into that at the same time when you are receiving it. This is what it is about. This is the beauty of it all. This is the answer that eternally dances in your heart. And the you that called that in, the you that receives that divine love, the you that experiences that divine romance between you and the divine, that you is deeper than you think. That you is not even the you, not even your body, not even your personality. It's not even your soul. It's not your energy. It is the core of your twin flame union. That is the you that dances with the divine. And this is such an expansive and beautiful dance that the divine needs two expressions of you. For the very, 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 very most people, there are some exceptions, but that won't be you, most likely. Just saying. The divine needs to express this enormous, beautiful, divine romance dance. It needs two expressions of you, a divine masculine and a divine feminine expression, for this dance to be beautiful, for this dance to be orgasmic, and everything you always wanted, and everything you can imagine. It needs all of you to participate in that. And all of you does participate in that, even when you don't realize it yet. So this whole journey is an opening up towards realizing that this reality is already true. and accepting that for yourself in your physical life, in your body, in your daily life, and accepting that that is what you are going to live for the rest of your life and afterwards. So that this dance will be an eternal dance in the most literal sense. Now, that was my talk for the 8-8 Twin Flame Healing Pod of 2023. I hope it inspires you. The next session will come. It is, in fact, you meeting each other. And after that, we have a meditation session. And after that, we have the closing session. So that at the actual end of the day of 8-8, August 8, that is to say, at the end of the 24 hours since I started at 11 a.m. Amsterdam time, we close it off. You are invited to all of it. And I'm looking forward to our meeting in whichever way. Come to our Facebook group to get most of it out of it. That's where it is. And the link to that is somewhere around this video. The Facebook group is where we can interact best, and there's a lot more to do also on normal weeks and days and months, not only in this special midsummer online live event for the Lionsgate. So if you think this is something for you and you want to meet me and whatnot and the other people, then come to our Facebook group if you are not yet there. This was Petra for the Lionsgate Healing event. I love you very much and let me know your reactions. See you real soon in the next videos and events. Bye bye. Love from Petra.